What I've found working with faculty members, and of course I'm specifically in the area of distance ed,
Right.
but what I've found working with faculty members is they are very receptive and to working with students of all types, and very eager to learn about accessibility standards and to employ those techniques. It's mainly a matter of awareness that we need to put it out there so everybody is aware. There are folks that have different learning styles, different needs, and if we try and accommodate as many people as possible from the beginning, then, like you say, it's going to help the student, it's going to help the faculty member.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree. It's first and foremost a matter of awareness, and then the support also has to be there.
Right.
I've been lucky enough to have a faculty development grant from UMW that I had 2 years ago now, when I first transformed one of my courses into as much as possible a UDI course. And as you know, now this spring I'll be working on another grant through our Teach UMW program I'm creating a new course, a disability studies course, a disability and literature course, and I'm going to make that from the get-go, from its first iteration, a UDI course. So that's my current project that I'm really excited about.
It sounds exciting. I'm interested to know what are some examples of considerations that you're mulling over as you design this course?
Sure. I mean, the other thing when you talk about awareness, one thing that I discovered is that a lot of UDI features that you would find in a course, many of my colleagues are already doing.
Right.
Some of them just that they're doing on something like a Blackboard. So I think that from that perspective, maybe it's not as much. It's not as much of a dramatic shift as some may fear or suspect. I mean, some of it is just making sure that you have documents available online, so that students can access them easily, so that if necessary they can fiddle with point size or a background, whatever, to make or even just making sure. And this is something that's different than like just uploading a syllabus to Blackboard, for example.
Right.
With the previous course I did UDI, I used a wiki environment, and I did have the Word document uploaded in case anybody wanted to just click on that and look at it or print it out.
Right.
But I also had the syllabus itself, copied and pasted into the wiki environment and formatted in the wiki environment, and it was full of hot link navigable headings, so that at any point, if I reference a particular assignment, if the student wanted to just click on that, it would take them right to that spot or to that assignment sheet. So that sort of ease of navigating, I think, is important for some students.
Right.
And on the syllabus itself, I basically turned the syllabus into kind of like the central, I guess. It's the whole centerpiece of the course for most of the students, because the syllabus included a calendar for what we were doing for every day, and that was a British Romantic Literature class. Anytime there were online files that might be more accessible for them, or if they're somewhere where they don't have it was a very big, heavy textbook. I've got a copy of it here. Am I going to screw up the...
No, that's fine.
Am I still back in the right spot?
You're right.
Okay. If they're without their big, heavy textbook, they've got their laptop with them, they can always access the work.
Yeah.
If there's an audio file of it online, if they like to listen to it or listen while they're reading, I would make a link there. Anytime that I had pre-prepared notes that I wanted them to have about the document, I'd have a link to that there. If I wanted to pull out important quotations from the work, I could have that document linked there. Any website of interest I could obviously link to, and they could go to it. So that was part of it. One of the other assignments for that course was I had students, one of their main writing assignments was that they were taking turns writing papers in essay format with an introduction thesis statement, body paragraphs, conclusion, but they were writing a paper about each class period. I mean, not each student wasn't writing about every
Right,
class period, but
right.
taking turns, so that we would have a log and at least 2 students for each period, so that there were different versions for students to compare.
Right.
What did we do during this period? What were the main points? I mean, all the students are taking notes, but we called it our notes repository,
Right.
where students were writing in essay format. What was the main point or main points of the class period? What did we do? And that all got put up on the wiki. That helped. There are some students who have issues with note taking. A frequent accommodation for students with disabilities, for example, is to have a note taker.
Right.
In this case, everybody, not just students with disabilities who might need that, anybody who wanted review for the final exam, we had a record of what we did every day, virtually every day.
Back
The
to
whole
universal design.
Mm-hmm.
It helps the person that needs the note taker. It helps other people too.
Right.
Yeah.
And I also think that it helps the individuals writing that paper make sure they're
Yeah.
they're paying attention, and at least for a couple class periods a semester, thinking, trying to come up with a coherent summary of what exactly was it that we were getting out of this class period.
Yeah.
It's worthwhile.